Hello viewers, you are welcome to this tutorial. So this is the final session of error handling. Error handling has been so interesting. I'm glad teaching this topic, and moreover we are dealing with error handling within looping statement in this session. Okay, so this is the final one. Just go through carefully, and I want to give you an example. A friend called me, alright, and he was dealing with error handling problem. That's this one, the one I'm about to do right now. He just didn't want to give a zero division error or give the user maybe value error. He wanted to loop. Okay, give the user countless time, maybe 3 chances, and if those 3 chances are off, then just go off the code. So as we already know, we have to handle zero division error, and we also have to handle value errors. And if the user makes these errors for 3 times, then he's off. Okay, so we are going to implement looping statement within error handling, and I've actually forgot how I handle this error with him, but I'm going to use a new method. Okay, not really something different, but code is dynamic, so I might not type the same thing I did with him. Okay, perhaps you don't even know what I did with him. So this is how I'm going to do it. I like to shorten my code, because shortening code makes the code reliable. It makes the file size smaller, and it uses a fewer memory. Okay, so that is what, if you follow my tutorial, I'm very concerned about shortening your code and using lesser variables but good and more variables when needed. Okay, so let's just jump into what we have to do. So we have to receive input from the user. Now if I am coding on my own, there are ways I will do it, but for teaching's sake, let me go one step at a time. So let's try. You know what we have to try already. First value equals int. Okay, input, and we have enter your first value. Then we also have this. Alright, so after entering first value, we have second value. Okay, then we have the int here, then we have input. Okay, so enter your second value. Alright, then this is what we have. Then after, we want to add them. So answer equals, or perhaps we want to print. So print first value divided by second value. Okay, so this is the same concept between the friend and I, but I'm really using a different method to do it. Okay, so this is it. After entering first value, second value, we want to divide. Then the next thing we like to do is to accept. Alright, add an exception. Okay, so value error, we say print you entered not you entered, please enter only integer values. Please enter only integer values. Alright, please enter all integer values. Then after, let me kind of bring some things here to kind of bring space within our code, so we have much spaces. Alright, /n, so bring more space within our code, so our code will not be so compacted. It will make it readable, and we can understand everything so much well. Alright, so this is what we have. Then I come to exception of zero division error. Then after, I print it and say my /n is here. Alright, please number cannot be divided by 0. Okay, or maybe second number should not be 0. Okay, second number should not be 0. Right, so we're telling the user his second number should not be 0, or his second value should not be 0. Okay, then after, we also have 1 2 3 and /n. Alright, so this is what we have, and we'll run this code afterwards. Alright, but we want to execute it 3 times, because if I should run this code and say he gets it right, then it displays what it does to display. But if he gets it wrong, it skips. Okay, it shows the display and skips the code. And if he gets it wrong with this one, it also says please enter only integer value. So we want to run through 3 times, give the user 3 options. Alright, so we bring for loop. You can use anything, but I'm saying I want to use the best method. Okay, so for loop, then for count, so we want to implement a value called count. If you don't understand the for loop or how the looping statement works, please go to my channel, check, type Niemann Sanskrit at YouTube. After typing, go to my playlist, you see Python basics. Inside Python basics, you see looping statement. Begin from looping statement and get through it. Okay, so count, for count in range of 0 to 3, you want to give the user 3 chances, so to start from 0 1 2, so the last value is not part of it. Okay, 0 1 and 2 to emit the 3, so that's it. Alright, so for this, and I come here, so I have to indent all these ones. PyCharm is great, so I put my hand on the tab key and begin to click all those places. Okay, the first thing you have to do is click where you want to start from. Then after, you can click anywhere. Then after, put your hand on the tab key and begin to click on all these ones So you, after you press tab, it will indent all of them at the same time. So I have all these things under the indentation, sorry. Okay, so what happens is this code will run 3 times, whether I like it or not. Even if the user is right, it will run it 3 times, but that is not what I want to achieve. I want to achieve it running 3 times if only the user is wrong. So the first input is 1, the second input is 2, the third input is 3, and if he is still wrong, get out of the code. But if he is right, I want to stop the code. Alright, so I bring what is called break. Okay, so this is what I want to do. I bring break. Now don't be scared of this break. What break does is it will exit the for loop. So if the user is right with the first value, with the second value, the division is right, break the code, break the loop, get out of the loop. Alright, that is what I want to do. But if the user is not right, and now there is no way the break will execute if this is wrong. So if the user enters a string value, it will not get to the break. You already know, I've made mention of it. If the user enters right values and the division is by 0, it will not get to the break. It will still run the loop. Alright, so this is what I want to do. So if it is please enter only integer values, it will still go through the loop. Okay, so please check loop if you have any question. Okay, check my tutorial on loop. So if I should enter the right value, 12 divided by 12, it says 1.0. It stops the loop. This break stops the loop, but I don't have any break here. Why? Because I don't want to stop the loop if the user is wrong. Go through for 3 times. So I run the code, I enter a string value, please enter only integers. So that's the first time. Second time, please enter only integers. Then the third time, it takes me out of the loop. Okay, so this is just the basic stuff of what you have to know. So if I do 0 division error, the same thing. So divided by 0, please only 0. If I do it again, please only 0. If I do it again, please only 0. Okay, but we might still want to tell the user something when it is done. All right, we still want to pass on information to the user. So that's what we actually want to do right now. So coming here, we can say here that if count is equal to 2, print your time for trying, or your try times. Okay, your try times is up. Okay, then we do the same thing here. If count is equal to 2, we just want to tell the user something. If count is equal to 2, your try time is up. Okay, so this is basically what we have to tell the user. Let me make the code a little complex and declare a function. So def information. I'm mixing a whole lot of things with this. So print your try times is up. Okay, so if I want this, I don't have to duplicate code. I just have to call the function. That's all. Then it gives me my display. All right. So this is interesting. Now let's live shorten my code. I don't like duplicating code and over again. So take your code up. The code should not be down. Function should be up, not down. Okay. All right. So that is it, because I have to declare it first before calling. So it has to be up here. So this is my little code I have. Declare function. Your try time is up. Okay. I can choose not to display anything to the user, but I choose to say your try time is up. Then after I call it here. Alright, so these are there are several ways you can do it. So if I should run this code and it says 2 and I give a value here, value here, value here, okay, your try time is up. So there's a few things we have to know and a little bit of understanding which we need in our code. So anytime you face a problem within your code, just analyze it well and use the try, except, and except again to handle it. Okay, now one more thing which I want to handle. Can you use an else statement within here? Sure, but there is a problem. The reason why there is a problem is because of the break I have here. This break actually stops the code. An else statement runs if nothing here runs, meaning the else statement is like the continuation of the try. So the break ends the code. So there is no way I'll get to the else statement. So if I hover over it, see what they tell me. This code is unreachable. So if I want to use an else statement, clean this break and bring the else statement, the break here. Okay, so what will happen is if this code runs perfectly, it will definitely get to the else, because none of this will run. Then it breaks here. Then there's any other thing I want to add, or cool things. Okay, but I can't bring the cool things under the break. I have to bring the cool things on top of the break. Okay, so coding is a strategy. Just think that way, code that way, make it happen. Okay, so that's the cool things. So thank you for viewing. This is just how to implement different things all together using looping statement with error handling. I'm happy to code. If you're happy to code, link me up. Go to my next tutorial. We're dealing with graphical user interfaces. So thank you for viewing, and you're always welcome. Leave any questions and comments you have within subscribe to the channel if you've not, ring the bell to receive more updates,